For decades, the V8 engine has been at the heart of Ford's identity. From the legendary Mustang to the workhorse F-Series, Ford's V8s have represented American muscle, raw performance, and durability. Yet, in a world moving rapidly toward electrification and turbocharged efficiency, many assumed the V8 was fading into history. That's why the announcement of Ford's all-new 2026 V8 engine sent shockwaves through the automotive world. Was Ford really doubling down on a technology that rivals are phasing out? And if so, what exactly makes this new V8 so special? The truth, as it turns out, is far more fascinating than the headlines. The 2026 Ford V8 engine isn't just a nostalgic throwback. It's a carefully engineered response to modern challenges. Balancing power, efficiency, emissions compliance, and driver demand in ways that redefine what a naturally aspirated engine can do in today's market. In this deep dive, we'll explore the shocking reality behind Ford's 2026 V8, how it performs, what experts think, how it stacks up against rivals, and why it may just be the last great chapter of the V8 era. Ford's V8 legacy, a heritage of power. To understand the weight of the 2026 V8's arrival, we need to look back. Ford practically invented mainstream V8 culture in America with the flathead V8 of 1932. That engine democratized performance and made the V8 accessible to the masses. Over the decades, icons like the 427 Cobra Jet, the 5-point Coyote, and the 7.3-liter Godzilla have cemented Ford's place in the V8 Hall of Fame. But heritage alone doesn't sell engines in 2026. Stricter regulations, corporate fleet emission standards, and electrification trends have put pressure on legacy automakers. GM has announced a future largely free of V8s outside performance cars, and Ram is moving toward turbocharged inline sixes. Ford's decision to develop an all-new V8 for 2026 stands in sharp contrast. Ford's commitment to a fresh V8 platform isn't just about nostalgia, explains James Whitaker, powertrain analyst at Autotech Research. It's about keeping their most loyal buyers engaged while finding ways to adapt an old formula to modern expectations. The birth of the 2026 Ford V8. So what exactly is the new engine? Ford insiders confirm it's a re-engineered evolution of the Coyote architecture, but significantly updated. It's not a simple refresh. It's been redesigned with cutting-edge materials, combustion technology, and hybrid-ready integration. Displacement, 5.0 liters confirmed for Mustang and F-150. Configuration, naturally aspirated V8, dual overhead cam. Technology, cylinder deactivation, variable cam timing, direct and port fuel injection. Output, estimated 500 plus horsepower in performance trims, 420 to 450 horsepower in trucks. Torque, 420 to 460 pound-feet depending on application. Fuel efficiency gains 8 to 12% over the outgoing V8 models. Emissions compliance meets 2026 EPA Tier 4 standards and European Euro 7 limits. Perhaps most importantly, the 2026 V8 is engineered to work with hybrid assistance. While Ford hasn't fully revealed hybrid pairings yet, experts expect at least one F-150 variant to pair the new V8 with an electric motor for even more torque and efficiency. Performance, the numbers that matter. At the heart of the excitement and skepticism around the 2026 V8 is its performance. In an era where turbo V6 engines and EVs are dominating spec sheets, can a naturally aspirated V8 still deliver? Horsepower. The Mustang GT with the 2026 V8 is rumored to push past 500 horsepower straight from the factory without relying on forced induction. That's a staggering figure, and one that rivals many supercharged or turbocharged engines. In truck applications, Ford is expected to keep outputs more balanced, around 430 horsepower, to prioritize torque delivery and towing. Torque is where the new V8 surprises most. Traditionally, Ford's Coyotes have been rev-happy but lacked low-end grunt compared to pushrod rivals. The 2026 redesign fixes this. By reworking intake geometry and optimizing combustion timing, Ford has managed to extract massive low RPM torque, with reports of 460 pound-feet in F-150 testing. This directly addresses complaints from truck owners who often favored GM's big blocks or Ram's Hemis for towing. Efficiency. The shocker here isn't just raw performance, it's efficiency. The 2026 Ford V8 is expected to hit 3 to 25 mpg highway in light truck applications and exceed 27 mpg in the Mustang, thanks to cylinder deactivation and hybrid compatibility. For a naturally aspirated V8, those are near unheard of figures. Ford has figured out how to squeeze efficiency out of displacement without robbing character, says Linda Zhang, former Ford F-150 Lightning chief engineer. That's the real shocker. It's not just about power, it's about making a V8 make sense in 2026. Expert comparisons. Ford versus GM versus Ram. How does Ford's new V8 stack up against the competition? GM's small block future. GM is pushing its 6th generation small block V8s, but they're primarily designed for performance cars like the Corvette. Trucks are moving toward turbocharged 6s and electric drivetrains. While GM's engines still pack punch, they don't appear as future-ready in terms of emissions compliance. Ram's Hurricane Inline 6. Stellantis has placed its bets on the twin-turbo Hurricane i6, which replaces the Hemi in many models. While powerful and efficient, the Hurricane lacks the traditional V8 sound and feel, something Ford is capitalizing on. Ford's unique position. By keeping the V8 alive, Ford is setting itself apart. For Mustang enthusiasts, it's a guarantee of identity. For F-150 buyers, it's about trust, knowing their truck has the muscle for towing without relying entirely on turbos or batteries. Ford is betting that emotional connection still matters, explains Ethan Green, senior editor at CarTrend magazine. The Mustang without a V8 isn't a Mustang. The F-150 without a V8 isn't the same truck. They're playing to loyalty, and loyalty sells. Why Ford is still betting on the V8? At first glance, Ford's decision seems risky. Governments are tightening emissions rules. EV adoption is growing. So why invest millions into a new V8? The answer lies in buyer psychology and market demand. Surveys consistently show that a large percentage of truck buyers still want a V8 option. Many view it as more durable, more trustworthy, and better sounding than alternatives. Similarly, Mustang enthusiasts insist that without a V8, the car loses its soul. Ford also understands the transition period. EVs are growing, but they're not yet mainstream in every market. Infrastructure challenges, high prices, and range anxiety are slowing adoption. By delivering a V8 that meets emission standards and satisfies buyers, Ford keeps its lineup relevant while its EV division matures. This isn't Ford ignoring the future, notes David Hamilton, automotive market strategist. It's Ford bridging the present and the future. They're saying, we'll give you electrics, but we'll also give you the V8 you still love. Driving impressions, early testing. While Ford hasn't released full press test drives yet, early prototype reviews suggest the new V8 is a revelation. Testers describe the instant throttle response, the classic V8 growl enhanced with active exhaust tech, and seamless transition of cylinder deactivation. In hybrid mules, the electric assist adds an almost supercharged-like torque burst, making the trucks feel even more muscular. One anonymous Ford engineer leaked that the 2026 Mustang V8 prototype was outperforming the outgoing GT500 in mid-range pulls, despite not being supercharged. If that holds true, the V8 revival may be even bigger than expected. The emotional factor. Let's be honest, part of the V8's appeal has nothing to do with numbers. It's the sound, the vibration, the identity. Ford knows this and has tuned the 2026 engine to deliver authentic auditory feedback while still being emissions compliant. Active exhaust valves allow owners to choose between stealth and roar, ensuring the V8 retains its personality. Automotive historian Mark Dinsmore puts it best. The shocking truth about the 2026 Ford V8 isn't just its power or efficiency. It's that Ford figured out how to keep the soul of the V8 alive in a world trying to silence it. The future outlook. So what does this mean for the future? Is the 2026 V8 Ford's last hurrah or the start of a longer journey? Experts predict the engine could live on for at least a decade, supported by hybridization and emissions compliance tweaks. It will likely serve as the final naturally aspirated V8 Ford develops from scratch, making it a collector's gem in the years to come. For Mustang fans, it ensures at least one more generation of V8 power. For truck buyers, it guarantees choice. But beyond product strategy, Ford's move sends a message. The V8 isn't dead yet. It may be evolving, adapting, and finding new justifications, but it still has a role to play in the auto industry's most iconic vehicles. Final thoughts. The shocking truth about the 2026 Ford V8 engine is that it defies expectations. It's powerful, pushing 500 horsepower in some trims. It's torquey, delivering the grunt truck owners demand. It's efficient, surprising analysts with MPG ratings that rival smaller engines. And it's emotional, keeping alive the sound and soul that enthusiasts cherish. In a time when the automotive world is racing toward electrification, Ford's new V8 is both a rebellion and a reassurance. A rebellion against the idea that tradition must die, and a reassurance to loyalists that their favorite engines still have a future. The 2026 Ford V8 may not last forever, but in its brilliance lies a reminder. Sometimes, the old ways still have a lot of fight left in them.